A stormless void.
My consciousness is slipping away.
Keep going, Durin. A pure soul is your essence, not an empty void.
I feel so weak.
Stand tall, Durin. You are not some amorphous idea. The body I made for you is flesh and bone.
Am I truly alive?
Yes, Durin, but you must keep going. You're as alive and real as I am.
I can't feel a connection.
You're not alone in this world, Durin. At the very least, you have me.
I can't remember anything. Who am I?
Your name is Durin, and there are many who still remember it.
My name is Durin.
You're taking too long. Come on, Durin, run! In this world, fate waits for no one.
Wait! Where am I meant to go? What am I supposed to do?
Go. Make your wish come true, Durin.
My wish?
Your story's not over yet!
Silence, huh? Have you nothing to say about my proposal?
Let me get this straight. You want to graft your story onto this unfinished thread of fate, and in doing so, not only rewrite that fate, but allow the story to live on.
Quite the brilliant idea. Still, the story's survival depends entirely on whether the author keeps writing.
Exactly. And the moment foretold by the prophecy is still centuries away.
I see. I thought my own ignorance might be the problem. That I'd asked more of the noble science of alchemy than it could ever deliver. Or that I had failed to discern the heavenly signs and grasp the secret truth underlying the prophecy. Little did I imagine that time itself would prove to be the greatest hurdle of all.
Well, my friend, this has been a most intriguing experiment. And from an academic perspective, at least, I don't think it was a bad proposal.
Someday, the prophecy will come to pass. So remember, my friend, much like the stars themselves, there will always be something that transcends the test of time.
Thank you, everyone. You've helped me so much already. But, Alice, I still have one final favor to ask of you. Will you lend me your magic one last time, just enough for me to keep his story alive until the prophecy is fulfilled?
You mean you want me to extend your lifespan?
No, not in that sense. As Rheindotter once told me, the laws governing life and death are among the most unyielding in this world. I'm well aware of that. Whether it lasts a day or an age, the span of one's life is determined by fate alone. If I tried to breach that law by force, I'm afraid I would lose what makes me human. This is not a path I want to go down. If I am to die, then I shall die a human.
So, what is it that you want me to do?
I would like you to send this pen of mine into the future.
I see. Then perhaps there really is a way I can help. I could create a kind of story magic to take over the writing once you're gone. Oh, but for it to work, you would need to provide enough of your own words for it to learn from.
How much?
Oh, an immense amount. So much, in fact, that you would have to spend the rest of your life writing. And even then, I'm sorry to say, it would not last forever. No matter how much you write, there is a limit to the number of words you can leave behind. But the world itself will never stop changing. Someday, perhaps, even your entire corpus will not be enough for the magic to continue describing this world. And when that happens, the story will end.
Still, it's worth a try.
Oh, my dear Anya. Even after all this time, you're still... Look at you. You should be enjoying your old age in peace and quiet, especially now that things are finally returning to normal after that terrible calamity.
Once he leaves Simulanka, things will only get more complicated. If his story is to continue, there needs to be more material for the magic to draw upon. I'll just have to skip over some of the less important details.
Anya, why do you insist on sending him out of the storybook world? Why must he face his fate in Tibet? Why not just let him remain within the story? With my magic, even fate's curse could be undone and he could live happily ever after.
I suppose. In fairy tales, all it takes is a heartfelt wish. And even a wooden puppet can turn himself into a real boy and live happily ever after. That's just how fairy tales end, isn't it? But have you ever wondered what happens to the main character after the ever after? Tell me, Alice, in your eyes, what would be a writer's greatest regret?
To leave a story without an ending.
Not a bad answer. It's true, many writers come to consider that their greatest regret. But I see things differently. My greatest regret is that every story I write has to come to an end in the first place.
Anya.
No matter how brilliantly a character shines, the moment their story ends, their potential is lost forever. For them, the story itself becomes an inescapable fate. But what if, instead, I could place my pen in their hand and let them continue the story themselves?
You mean...
You said it yourself. I can only leave so many words behind. Even with your magic, the idea that I could keep the story going until the prophecy comes to pass is wishful thinking at best. But I've found a way to use your magic to transform some of my finished stories into a special kind of ink. This ink is a magical medium he can use to complete the story the way he wants to. For what is storytelling but another kind of magic? And if he can experience the whole tale himself while leaving behind his own wishes and aspirations, even once he reaches the chapter where I stopped, he'll still be able to carry the story forward on his own. And so, by leaving him this ink, I can entrust him with the responsibility of writing his own story.
A character with the power to write their own story.
That way, he'll finally be free from the cage that is my pen. And like anyone else living in the real world, he can go on to create a life of his own.
And you no longer need to worry about the constraints of my magic. What a brilliant idea, Anya. But there are still risks. First of all, once he arrives in Teyvat, he'll have to rely entirely on the story you left him to maintain his connection to that world. As you gradually hand over creative control, that connection will grow weaker, and at some point, he might lose it altogether.
But at the same time, he'll also have the chance to forge that connection for himself.
The issue is, this method taps into too many of Teyvat's core secrets. Any overt hints you try to leave will be erased in no time. In fact, it'd be hard for you to leave anything at all to guide them.
We still have the story itself, though. I can use that to show them the way.
It's entirely possible he burns through all your ink, never reaches the chapter you had in mind, and gets stuck, roaming the chapters of his past. But despite all that,
I still believe in what this child can become. His hopes and wishes can be his ink, so he won't be trapped by mine running dry.
Oh, what the writer you are, Anya. Your imagination never ceases to amaze. And you do know how much I love a happy ending. You shall have my help, my dear.
Thank you, my friend. Well then, my child, do you understand what you must do?
Yes, I think I do. It's my turn to keep this story alive.
Then what's holding you back?
What will become of you after I take up this pen?
I will fade away. There will no longer be a reason for me to go on existing. My child, or your mother, I should say, passed away long ago. The voice you're hearing is nothing but a magical echo that has now fulfilled its purpose. You needn't feel so reluctant to let me go.
I know my mother died long ago. It's just, when you lose your mom too soon, it's hard to tear yourself away from the stories she used to read. I guess it's a silly way of pretending she's still here, by your side.
Durin.
But after coming to this world and traveling it with my friends, facing all kinds of enemies together, I suddenly realized I couldn't just sit around listening to my mother's stories because I'd found a new purpose in life. Maybe this is just what growing up feels like. With all my new friends waiting, it's time I finally set aside my mother's storybook. I'm ready to grow up now, Mom.
Then take this. A gift I should have given you a long time ago. You've witnessed this story from the very beginning. Made your wishes, offered your blessings, and even wrote your choices into its pages. From here on out, this pen is yours. Now I ask of you, the other pillar of this story, as both its reader and its witness, will you turn the page so the next chapter can begin? Suddenly, and without warning, the powers of darkness struck. The question was, could the little dragon prevail? Alas, it was here that the story witch's tale had to end.
But Durin's tale, on the other hand, had only just begun. Stepping into his mother's memories, he picked up her pen. And so the story that was ending began anew. He had made up his mind to challenge the fate that barred the way ahead.
Looks like this is the final step.
A chance to strike back at fate? Now that's not something that comes knocking every day.
No, that fate no longer defines me. In the end, only my story shall endure. Stay your hand. Stay back. Decay. New life.
No dodging this one. Here, I'll help lift you up.
Only my story shall endure. Believe it's me! Turning point in fate!
Looks like there's nowhere to hide. Here, I'll cover for you.
Watch this time, the light prevails! Thank you, Mom. And so it was that Durin defeated the darkness and rewrote his fate. But his story is far from over. Is everyone okay?
We're fine, thanks. And hey, we all saw how you fought back there. That was awesome!
I have to admit, I do feel like something in me has changed. I owe you all so much. Without your help, I don't know if I could have ever made it this far.
Just a shame I could only help out from the sidelines. Like I said before, it's not every day that you get to put fate in its place.
Well, I'm sure you'll hear it someday.
Hear what?
The chance to strike back at fate knocking at your door.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Allow me to just check one thing. Yes. The abyssal power within you has stabilized again. And those strange symptoms you were experiencing seem to have completely disappeared.
Oh, thank goodness!
I wonder what it means, though. Aside from the principles of alchemy, what other law of this world governs his being?
Look, it all turned out fine, so just leave it at that. Now that this one's out of danger, it's time for me to get out of here.
You're leaving so soon? What, don't humans usually throw a party after something like this?
A party? Do I look like that kind of guy? Anyway, come find me again next time you're in trouble. That's what friends are for, right?
In a way, though, he is right. This is Durin's moment to celebrate, not the time for academic discussions.
Hey, I don't blame you for asking. And honestly, I'd be perfectly happy to talk about it. It's just, I wouldn't even know where to start.
It's all right. I'm sure we'll get a chance at some point. After all, your story's only just begun. All right then. Traveler and Paimon, we'll part ways here. Given the extraordinary nature of the things we witnessed today, I need to make sure it's all recorded properly.
Okay, see ya! So, it's party time next, huh?
Congratulations on completing your mission. Now then, as per our agreement, it's about time you returned that.
She must have known the moment we finished. Just like she said she...
I've heard dressing appropriately is a...
Oh, my writer and witness. It's been quite...
You had special plans for the Traveler from the start, didn't you?
But of course, that goes without saying. For a story to live on, it needs both a writer and a reader. Only then can my magic take effect. I chose the Traveler as the witness because of the special nature of who he is. It's not easy finding someone with that kind of background, you know. For a moment, I even considered...
At least it made for an interesting story, right?
Huh? What are you doing here, tone-deaf bard?
With the Hexenzirkel carrying out such a risky experiment in Mondstadt, it didn't cross your minds that the Animo Archon might be slightly curious?
Sorry for the trouble, Lord Barbados.
Think nothing of it. I dare say the Animo Archon quite enjoyed coming along for the ride. And now then, as agreed, let us see the fruits of your labor.
Here, please take a look.
Well, well, well. Somehow, despite all my careful planning, it still turned out to be full of surprises. It never even crossed my mind that Rhindotter's child would be capable of handling that kind of alchemy in her stead. When he asked for help with the materials, oh my, I nearly couldn't believe it. If only the others were here too, we could all celebrate together.
I'm right here, you know. The only one who hasn't responded is the one busy stuffing her face over there.
Is that you, Barbie? A little late to the party, don't you think?
Come here, child. Let me take a closer look at you.
All right, Aunt Seer Witch. Here I am.
Just as I thought. This child's fate does not appear among the stars. Anya has accomplished what almost no one before her could.
What does that mean?
Child, all you need to know is that you're very lucky indeed.
Oh.
Just like how she was in the story, huh?
Tell me, little Durin, what will you do next? I, for one, cannot wait to see how your story unfolds.
Well, there's so much I want to do. I'm not even sure where to begin.
How about settling your most recent regret?
Not so fast, Tone-Deaf Bard! What exactly did you just tell Durin to do?
To make a long overdue wish come true.
Thank you once again, Alice.
How much time do you have left?
I believe these should be my final moments. Just enough time to say goodbye to my dearest friend.
This feels like having to say our final goodbyes all over again. I don't like it. Not one bit.
I don't know how to respond to that. Strange. You were always such a cheerful figure in my stories. I even dubbed you the Merry Witch, you know.
Oh, please. You know full well it was your stories that first taught me what true pain and sadness felt like.
Oh.
Aside from saying goodbye to me, shouldn't you also leave a few words for the child? Since the book will be his to continue, why don't you write him a little parting note?
There's no need. His mother already did that long, long ago. All that remains is for me to convey it on her behalf. My child, these may be the last words I get to leave you. I've always thought of the characters in my stories as my children, loving each one of them, just like a mother would. But you are the most extraordinary of them all. You alone can defy the fate of this world and write the perfect ending to my story. You alone shall leave these pages for a future I will not see. Still I say to you, fly, my sweet child. Just like a forest breeze yearns for the open sky, head into the unknown and seek an adventure to call your own. If you meet a dragon bright as 1,000 jewels, dance through the air together. You are not alone, for this world has accepted your place in it. Do not lose heart. You still have many wishes left to fulfill. A long tale awaits you, my love. Let songs and flowers be the ink that fills its pages. Take my pen and use it to continue your story.